The NFL wildcard round starts tomorrow with two games being played. First, the Seahawks head to San Francisco to face the division rival 49ers, followed by the Jaguars hosting the Chargers for some Saturday night playoff football. The Los Angeles-Jacksonville matchup is expected to be one of the closest games in the wildcard round. There's two young quarterbacks in the playoffs for the first time. Both teams finished the regular season playing great football, and while the Chargers have a better record, the Jaguars will have home field advantage since they won their division, so the winner is really kind of a toss-up. But while both teams are preparing for this game, the headline today in the football world is fans not being too happy with the Chargers head coach Brandon Staley, as many are calling for him to be fired. Before I get into it, welcome to the War Room, a channel where I discuss all things sports related. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's get straight to it. Staley was hired at the beginning of 2020, so he's in his second year as LA's head coach. His first season with the team, they finished 9-8, barely missing the playoffs. But this year, the team overall took a step forward, finishing 10-7 and being a wildcard team. So in his first 2 years as coach, the team's record is 19-15 and they've made the playoffs. So why do people want him fired? Well, as many of you may know, the final week of the NFL regular season is a time where many coaches coaching playoff teams play their backups. The reasoning behind this, of course, is to ensure that you are not risking the chance of any injury to one of your starters the week before you play the most important football of the year. For example, in Week 18, the Giants didn't play Daniel Jones or Saquon Barkley because the result of this game didn't affect their playoff position in any way. Win or lose, they were going to be the 6th seed in the NFC heading into the playoffs. Resting the starters when you know your playoff position is a strategy that coaches have been using for decades. And I actually wouldn't even call it a strategy really, it's just common sense. Common sense for everyone besides Brandon Staley. Last Sunday, the Ravens lost their game versus the Bengals earlier in the day, meaning the Chargers clinched the 5 seed in the AFC before their game versus the Broncos even started. So no matter what happened in their game against Denver, win, lose, or tie, the Chargers were going into the playoffs locked in at number 5. The game they were about to play is absolutely meaningless. Staley knew this, but he still decided to play all of the starters anyway. His reasoning for doing this was so the starters could compete, stay hot for the playoffs, get their work in, and then get taken out of the game early when the coaches felt they were ready. We often see in preseason games, the starters will play a quarter or even just a couple of drives and then get taken out. If that was what Staley wanted to do in this Week 18 game, it's still pretty dumb and too risky in my opinion, but whatever. The bigger problem here is that he didn't take his starters out after a couple of drives. He left some of them in for more than 3 quarters. Quarterback Justin Herbert and running back Austin Eckler got replaced by the backups once the 4th quarter started, while guys like Keenan Allen and Josh Palmer were still playing with only about 6 minutes left. But one of the Chargers' best receivers, Mike Williams, wasn't lucky enough to make it that far. He suffered a back injury in the 2nd quarter, he was taken out, and he will miss the Chargers' wildcard game versus Jacksonville tomorrow. The timeline for Williams' recovery is about 2 to 3 weeks, so unless the Chargers go on an unlikely Super Bowl run, Williams is done for the year. He was the Chargers' leader in receiving yards this season with 895, and tied with the 2nd most receiving touchdowns with 4, and now he's gone because he got hurt in a game that meant nothing. If you think that's dumb, wait until you hear about Joey Bosa. The 4-time Pro Bowler and former Defensive Rookie of the Year missed most of the season after tearing his groin in Week 3. He finally came back in Week 17 in a game the Chargers needed to win and did. So you would think if anyone needed rest for this meaningless matchup versus Denver, it would be him. Well, he still played, and he left the game early after getting hurt again. Now, luckily, Bosa will be playing in the wildcard game, so it's not as big of a deal, but still, why was it even being tested? Also, why were Herbert, Eckler, Allen, and Palmer still playing after these injuries happened? At no point did Brandon Staley think, yeah, maybe this isn't worth it, and take them out of the game. On top of that, the Chargers still lost this game versus Denver 31-28. So it would have been the exact same result anyway if the backups just played the entire time. Fans have really been going after the Chargers head coach all day today on social media, wanting him gone. I always try to be fair in these videos and see both sides. Obviously what Staley did was stupid. This is something that will always be part of his reputation as a coach. It's not good for his career resume at all. Do I think he should be fired for this blunder? I don't really know, but I certainly think it's a bad look, and he better hope they win tomorrow. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Should Brandon Staley be fired because of this stupid decision? Thank you for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.